Great. So yeah, I'll just share this. I have a couple of slides, and then we'll go through the application and the summary website that we have. Again, thank you for joining. We are a small program out of social enterprise at Goizueta, one of the research centers of Goizueta Business School. We've been working with coffee farmers in Central America for the past 5 years. This was prior of me joining the program. I'm an Emory alumna myself. I graduated from the full-time MBA program a few years back, spent some time in consulting, and then I've moved back to Central America, which is where I am based today. I'm in El Salvador, which is home. And I'm just super excited to be working with SEAG on this and other programs. Sarah supports some of our other coffee programs as well. And we are a small but mighty team that is very much committed to supporting coffee farmers that are working in this, very complicated but super interesting industry. If you look at the coffee industry, and we talk about this in our class in this course and also in Peter's specialty coffee course, when you look at the coffee industry, you can tackle so many problems, right? You have climate change, you have social issues like migration, the economic issue, of course, but there are many different layers that go into coffee and the impact that it has, the fact that it is a multi-million-dollar industry, but the producing side is still very much impoverished and trying to figure out how to get more of that money back to origin. So that's what we do. We look at the market side. We are not an agricultural school, of course, so we do have some mentors that support the technical side, but we very much focus on the market and the economic side of the specialty coffee industry. So where are we, based? So of course we are part of the Emory University umbrella, the Goizueta Business School umbrella, then again social enterprise of Goizueta, and we are one of the programs at SEAG that are very active. SEAG has an active program in Atlanta that supports micro businesses called Start Me. So if you guys haven't heard about it, it's just really great. And then again, it supports micro entrepreneurs in the Atlanta area and assembles a team of mentors from the Emory alumni pool in Atlanta, which is very diverse and very strong, and it's trying to support entrepreneurs, which was already important even after the pandemic hit, but now even more micro businesses really need that support and those networks that gather around them and really want to support them in their path to grow. So for Grounds for Empowerment, just looking at our program, our model works with a cohorts of farmers. Right now, we work with partners on the ground. Here mentions Nicaragua, but we now work with partners in Nicaragua, Guatemala, and El Salvador. We are looking, of course, at growing our scope, but that requires resources, which is complicated. Like I said, we are a small but mighty team, but we are very much committed to growing our scope. This new virtual model, we hope, will open opportunities as well to grow our scope and grow our network of alumni. We work with really awesome women coffee farmers, entrepreneurs who create a community that continues even after our workshop has finished. And this is where we come in via our learning modules. We have a team of industry experts that donate their time as mentors. We often get that question of like, I'm not a coffee expert. Will I be providing advice or a consulting role in this workshop? And the answer is yes and no. I like to think that we do a really good job of preparing students by providing readings, curated discussions, videos, and materials. So you will have a very clear understanding of the problem that you will be tackling. But that being said, you will have the support of mentors, industry expert mentors that will provide guidance, subject matter expertise that really help us add value to our farmers' experience. In the past, this was prior to the pandemic, we would all travel to origin, and this would happen either during spring break or fall break. And we would spend 3 to 4 days to 5 days at origin in Guatemala, El Salvador, and spending time working with farmers in a in-person workshop. This kind of like a strategy retreat for them where they focus on their business. But now with the pandemic, we are aware that we cannot stay for 3 days just glued to the screen. So what we've done is that we've stretched our module into 5 Fridays. So throughout the semester, and if you guys have seen the application, we require that you commit to being able to attend class meetings on Friday mornings. And this time is used prior to those 5 Fridays. We spend time prepping. Peter teaches a really thorough class about the industry and prepares us for the workshop. And then those 5 Fridays, we spend them with our farmers developing the modules for the workshop. So we do that for the course of 5 Fridays. We ask our farmers to commit to 5 Fridays with us, Friday mornings. We have cohorts of approximately 15 to 16 farmers, and we recruit a team of 16 students as well to work with us. We're working on recruiting 16 mentors as well. The mentors rotate throughout the group, and the students have the support of the mentors, but pretty much work with a group of farmers. But then towards the end of the semester, you'll be assigned to a farmer that you'll support directly in her business plan and in her storytelling, financial planning, etc. So a new addition as well via this new virtual reality is that we are working with students from business schools at Origin. So this time we've had an exchange program with a university in El Salvador, and we hope to be doing the same for Guatemala. We're talking with universities from El Salvador, Costa Rica, and Guatemala, and we are hoping that we can assemble a very diverse team that not only can learn from farmers, but can learn from each other, right? Like right now, as universities have suspended a lot of their exchange programs or study abroad programs, I think it's really interesting, and we're very proud to provide this opportunity to have multi-country student teams. So that's part of what we do as well, and we're super excited to do this for farmers in Guatemala next year, and for students both from Emory and Central America. And yeah, so this is just logos from some of our partners. We work with the National Coffee Association in Guatemala. They're just awesome partners and supporters from El Salvador as well. And we work with different nonprofits that support coffee farmers throughout the region in Latin America. And that's kind of what I have in terms of the workshop. I would like to pause before we talk about registration and application in the course and see if there are any questions at all about our workshop, the work that we do with farmers, before we talk specifics about applications and how you can register for the course.
I had a quick question. Also, thank you so much for that overview. So you mentioned that we would meet 5 times or 5 Fridays with the farmers. Would we also meet just in general on Fridays, even before we're paired up, just so we could get like the overview? Like, it should be expected that the class will always be on Fridays, not just like 5 Fridays, but Fridays in general, I guess.
Correct. So we ask that you commit your Friday mornings, let's say, to the class throughout the year. For instance, this time we have the daylight savings adjustment to do along the way. So we have 2 to 3 hour work sessions, approximately from 10 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah, because we always are trying to adjust with the time difference at Origin and in Atlanta. So yeah, we would ask that you block your calendar throughout the semester, pretty much from 10 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern, so that throughout the semester, that time is used either to prepare with the class with Peter. Even before you meet the farmers, yes, we collect information from them regarding their businesses, the size of the farms, the location, a little bit of background information so that we are familiar with their stories and their businesses before we dive into the workshop. And then as we switch gears, those are like our most intense 5 Fridays of the semester. We do ask students that if something comes up, we understand something may come up, a prior commitment, or of course, we understand that sometimes interviews come up, etc. But that for those 5 Fridays, you try your very best not to miss of any segment of the call, just because we have farmers live that are doing this workshop with us, and we try our best to make it as engaging and interactive as possible. We have a policy that, we try that everyone keeps their cameras on so that we can replicate as much as possible that in-person experience. But yes, we do ask that everyone blocks their Fridays throughout the spring semester.
Got it.
And you will, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying thank you.
Okay, yeah, and then you will have information from all of the farmers. We're actually going to start the process. As soon as we recruit the student team, we switch gears to recruiting our farmers with the support of Guatemala's National Coffee Association. So we will have information to share in advance. So great, yeah, and thank you for the question. Any other questions about the workshop? And if not, we'll switch gears and we'll start talking about the course. Perfect. Partnership. And these are some of our photos from our workshop in Guatemala. Actually, just last year, when we were still doing in-person meetings, this is in the offices of Guatemala's National Coffee Association. These are some of our alumni network. We are planning to having our first alumni meeting via Zoom next month. And we are very excited to get everyone together and share experience and talk about what they've been through, and just hopefully some inspiring words for the future as well. We know it's been a very challenging year for everyone and also for coffee farmers. As you guys can see, we try really hard to keep our cohort as diverse as possible in terms of age, the location of their farms, the size of the farm. Some of our farmers are very well connected already with some buyers in the market. Some farmers are just getting started in learning about how to export and find those really good buyers outside of Guatemala or within Guatemala. So we're just super excited to gather together such a diverse and an awesome cohort of farmers. So in terms of expectations for the course, so here I think we have here 9:30 to 12:30. This can vary a little bit. It's either 9:30 to 12:30 or 10 to 1. We also are transparent in saying that there might be an additional 1-hour meeting during the week once you've been assigned your farmers and you've been assigned to a small team. We usually have 4 teams, and then each team is assigned a group of farmers. And this happens before you are assigned to an individual farmer to work with. You'll be assigned to a student team that is also, formed by not only Emory classmates, but in this case, a classmate from El Salvador, a classmate from Costa Rica, if we're able to finalize the agreement with the university or a university from Guatemala as well. We ask students from Central America to be fully bilingual. If you've taken classes with Peter or you will get to know him, he does not speak any Spanish. So Peter doesn't speak Spanish. So all of the classes preparing for the workshop are in English. And then our workshop, of course, for farmers is in Spanish. Often we have a farmer or two that are fluent in English, but most of our work with farmers is done exclusively in Spanish, which is why we require that you speak, intermediate advanced Spanish. And of course, there's time for that learning curve to practice your Spanish, but we ask that you feel comfortable working with someone in Spanish. So that's where the language requirement comes in. Of course, we're flexible. If you're really interested in the class and you don't speak Spanish, Peter doesn't speak Spanish, as I mentioned, and he's always looking for students that can support him as well, and we can talk offline about what that would entail. So course credit, students get 3 credits, and this is standard throughout, whether you're in the Emory College, in the business school, for MVP students as well. We, because it's a small cohort, this semester, for instance, we had 8 students from Emory. we support each student with registration with the program offices so that all paperwork is collected and the course appears in your opus and you get the corresponding credit. The final assessment, there are no exams in this course. The requirement is that you are an active participant of the workshops, of course, and that you submit a reflection paper, which some of our students are working on right now. And as long as you are, like Peter just said that this morning, if you're actively engaged in the workshop, if you submit your reflection paper, you really don't have to worry at all about your grade. So that's kind of where the requirement comes in. And then I'm also going to talk about application deadlines and just kind of what our timeline looks like between now and the workshop. But I would like to stop here and see if there are any questions at all about, the course. How do I register? How do I make sure that I get my course credit? And all of those, action items. Great. Well, if there are no questions, we can always review those afterwards if something comes up. Even after we've admitted students to the course, we always ask, of course, everyone that they keep us posted on any changes on their schedules or availability. If something changes, then for you to please let us know, because we usually have wait lists for people that want to join the course. So that's something that we do as well. So I just want to here, and I just want to switch to our directed study summary. Hopefully, most of you have visited this website, and if not, we'll share via email as well with the link. The applications are now open here. This link will direct you to Qualtrics survey, where we ask a few questions, that you submit your resume, and then we hope that the week after Thanksgiving, we can start conducting interviews. These are very short 20-minute phone calls where we ask a few questions about your application. A couple of questions will be in Spanish, and then we can confirm our student team. We do accept students on a rolling basis. So if you submit your application today, I think we'll start reviewing applications next week, and we'll start scheduling interviews, because of course we know that this year, that the end of the semester will be different. The semester will finish early, and then everyone will kind of like switch gears towards, 2021. So hopefully we'll be able to confirm the student team, and we'll be reviewing applications on a rolling basis. So here, you just have a description of what we do at GFE. Here's a video that we will encourage you guys to watch. It was, produced by our Guatemala's National Coffee Association last year, and I think it will happen this year as well. So for a spring workshop, it usually coincides with International Women's Day. We're usually working with farmers in March, so this video was recorded to commemorate just us being in Guatemala working with women coffee farmers on International Women's Day. So I thought that was very cool. So this is, again, the qualifications for our ideal students. So like I said, we have diverse teams of students that come from graduate and undergraduate programs. They're fluent both in English and Spanish. Our students in Latin America also come from both graduate and undergraduate students. Most of our undergrad students are seniors from business schools. So our cohorts have really worked very well in the past. And then in terms of the application, we just have a few questions about what empowerment means to you, women's empowerment. If you've ever had an experience where you supported cross-cultural exchange of information, and just a short statement of interest, right? We just really want to get to know you a little bit more besides what your resume will share. And this is just our information for the application. And also, if you guys have friends or classmates that you think will be a good fit for the course, we would really appreciate if you share this information, or student clubs as well. We are trying our best to spread the word with the student clubs about this opportunity. One more thing that I wanted to share is that, this has been in the past a travel course. You do get that international, I can't remember the exact description, but I think there's an international course that you're required to take if you haven't yet taken it. You will get it from this course if you haven't completed that. But this in the past has been a traveling course. We're very much hopeful that in the future, and this is not a requirement, but that in the future we're able to plan an alumni trip gathering where we can visit some of the farmers that we have supported and meet them in person, because we haven't yet done that. So in the works, of course, is the creation of perhaps like a virtual visit to a farm. We are working with a GFE team to create materials and videos that can support that experience for students. Here you can see a photo of a farm visit that we did in Guatemala with one of our farmers, and it just adds another. We will try to replicate that in two ways. One, in videos that we are working on, but also in the future when it's safe to do so again, to travel and to meet in person some of the amazing farmers and entrepreneurs that we will work with.
Excuse me.
Yeah, oh yeah, go ahead.
I don't think we can see the new thing that you're working on, because we're looking at a PowerPoint right now. Yeah.
No, oh sorry. Thank you,
No,
Sarah.
it's okay. Yeah, of course.
Oh, I thought I had shared my whole screen, but I hadn't.
Yeah, I was about to tell you, Giselle, we need to switch it over.
Perfect.
But yeah.
Yeah. So I was showing you guys this photo of our farm visit here, which is when we visited a farm in Guatemala with one of our farmers. Some of our farmers joined as well. That was a really great experience. And the video that I mentioned about spending International Women's Day in Guatemala with the farmers is this one. Sarah, can you share the link on the chat, just in case not everyone has it? You're welcome to watch it and take a look. And it's just a really cool summary of the work that we did at the Specialty Coffee, Guatemala's National Coffee Association last year. And we were there in Guatemala for International Women's Day. So that was cool. And yeah, this is what I was showing you guys. Again, the prompt, questions, the link to apply will be here. And yeah, we try our best to, via Zoom, via videos, via materials that we're developing, to replicate that experience. And we are also hoping that we can, in some point in time next year, to plan a trip for those that are interested, that are able to, that are comfortable. We know that safety will continue to be an issue for some time, but as soon as it is safe to do so for the university, we get the green light from Emory that students are allowed to travel, we hope to be able to create a really cool curated experience to visit coffee farmers and visit a coffee farm and learn. It's really cool because you kind of learn from like the coffee tree. A lot of people don't really know, like the whole process of a coffee tree, a coffee plant, the coffee bean, all the way to the coffee cup. You can really see it at origin. I think it's really cool. I grew up surrounded by coffee. I come from an origin country, which is El Salvador. And it wasn't until I took this job that I really understood all the steps and all the hard work that goes into like the cup of coffee that I drink every morning, right? So it's, and like I said, all the problems that are layered within coffee. And I think that makes it a very interesting business problem from a business perspective, from a development perspective. So I think it's a really great class. We'll also be, fingers crossed, offering it in the fall. So if your schedule doesn't line up, then there's opportunities as well to take the course next year. We do ask that you send us an email if it didn't work out this time. We'll be happy to stay in touch and share opportunities for the fall semester as well. And that's kind of what I had. Sarah, is there anything else that you think we need to add in terms of the application? Again, the last day is November 20th, but in full transparency, we most likely will extend it perhaps for another week, given that Thanksgiving is coming up and November is a very busy month. But the sooner you submit your application, the better, as we are accepting on a rolling basis. So yeah, anything else, Sarah, that you think we should add?
No, I think that's great. I just shared the link with the website and application link in there, but you can always email Giselle if you have any more questions about it. And even if you're not sure, like, we still encourage everyone to apply. And when I started working with Grounds for Empowerment, I wasn't really sure what it was about. It's hard to explain, in only 30 minutes, everything that it encapsulates. So yeah, I would just encourage everyone to go for it, or ask us questions if you have more questions.
Yeah, and also another way to learn more about the program is to visit our website, groundsforempowerment.org. We also are very active on Instagram. We share updates about our farmers, photos, what we've been working on. So we'll also share our user for Instagram. And yeah, you all have my email address. So if any other questions come up, or if, as you review your applications, you have any concerns with time commitment, we also try to be very transparent about it. But compared to other classes, I don't think that it's a significant or a increased time commitment. But you are supporting farmers' businesses, so we do ask that if and when you commit to the class, you do commit that time. So yeah, you can always reach out with any questions to my email address. We hope that you check out our website and the work that we do on Instagram. And yeah, thanks for joining. We'll also be sharing this recording after this call. So, and yeah, any other questions that you guys may have, we're happy to answer those.
I have a question about the farmers. When what do they handle? Do they just grow the coffee, or do they have brands and distribute it themselves? What stages are they?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we work with a diverse cohort of farmers. Some of them like sell it in cherry and will deliver it to someone else, and we'll be like, this is my coffee, take it. And we do some work with them in terms of connectivity to the market. We also do a cupping, which we used to do in person together, and that was super interesting because both students and farmers could learn how to cup coffee, which is not too different from wine tasting, but in coffee. So we used to do this in person all together. Now, of course, it's not possible. We try to replicate it in some way via Zoom. We did that this year. So that's also part of the work that we do with farmers, like understand the quality of your coffee, understand the potential that it has, because you should be the subject matter expert in the quality of the product that you have. You should know your product the most, right? So that is the most beneficial for farmers that are not as further along in the value chain. But we do have some farmers that have brands that sell in the local market, brands, farmers that have visited trade shows and made good connections with people from international markets. So we try to keep it very diverse so that within the cohort, they're able to share connections and experiences and opportunities. So you will see a different kind of business and a different kind of farmers in the cohort.
Thank you.
I have a question about, I don't know exactly how to phrase it, but in what ways, like, I understand you have to like communicate with the farmers in Spanish, but like how much, is it a lot of writing? Is it a lot of talking? Because I want to, like, I don't know if I'm quite ready to do that yet. So that's why I want to like see what that would look like. Maybe if I want to finish this coming semester with another year, half a year of Spanish, and then I'll be a little bit more prepared. So.
Yeah, and feel free to comment on this, Sarah, because you've been on this on the workshop as well. I would say it's slightly more talking. Like, for instance, there are some breakout sessions that we will be working with your farmer. Again, I would say we usually have 25% of our cohort that speaks English. So we have heard from some students that they switch back and forth, and we try our best to match whoever is like completely fluent and comfortable in Spanish with those that doesn't speak a word of English. So we try our best to do that match, but you will be working with your farmer in conversations. There are some write-ups that are required. For instance, if you visit our website, and I can share that very quickly, the end product of the workshop is a website with farmer stories. So So for instance, each farmer by the end of the workshop, those who are comfortable, of course, with all of these pages are approved by farmers. All the information that is shared is approved by them. The photos, the contact information, email address, etc. So they provide these photos to us. And like this write-up, for instance, was worked on by a student and the farmer. So we'll be working in this write-up. We have mentors that provide best practices in how to create a compelling marketing story for a coffee farm, depending on the audience, whether that's someone who drinks coffee, a consumer, or an intermediary, a roaster, or an importer. So with their support, we create these stories. We have these farm specifications as well, and they're both in English and Spanish, as you will see. So farmers are able to direct any business partners that they want to our website. Some farmers have their own websites, some farmers don't. But often it's interesting that when you Google a farm or a farm that has really good coffee, the first results that you get are often not the farmer themselves, but someone that is, you know, like an intermediary or a roaster. So we're trying to provide these landing pages for farmers as well via our website. And one thing that I forgot to mention is that we provide seed grants to all of our farmers. So we provide a very small seed grant, given, you know, growing coffee is so expensive. But each farmer gets a seed grant from between $250 to $300, and they can spend it however they want in a project for their farms. Some of them choose to use that to take a coffee course in quality, or to make their own website on, you know, or create their own social media presence, or a rebranding for their packaging. So that's a little bit of what we do as well, and the students support all of those efforts.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I would just say also in terms of your Spanish abilities, like we could always talk if you're still unsure. We could always talk with you, maybe one-on-one or something like that, if you wanted more sort of insight. But I think definitely conversationally, if you're like, you know, really good at conversational Spanish, able to understand and comprehend, then you'll be okay. You don't have to be like 100% perfect, no errors. But yeah, being able to have a conversation and hold a conversation and understand what someone's saying and respond. And like Giselle said, being able to write a story. But also one of the benefits of being on Zoom is that, you know, you're on your computer, and if you forget one word or something, you could quickly look it up. So that makes it easier as well.
Great. Well, if there are if there are not any other questions, thanks again for joining at this conversation. Hopefully you are still considering on submitting an application. If you already have, again, we'll be reviewing applications next week and start sending calendar invites, or well, first, of course, asking your availability for a short 20 to 30-minute phone call where we can chat a little bit more about your interest in the program. And yeah, we hope that you will keep us, you know, in your radar, and hope to hear from you very soon. And let us know if you have any questions.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.